So Games Workshop stores have these events called Armies on Parade. And what is Armies on Parade? It's basically...
You can't see that, right?
I know, not yet. This is the build-up. It's basically them saying, you buy some models, you build them, you paint them, that's cute. But what we really need you to do is buy lots more models, lots more paint, and build a whole terrain scene for them. And then bring it in and we'll give you an award. And then you can buy more stuff.
Ooh, that sounds cool. Keep on talking. I'm just helping you.
I was about to show the thing.
Just help
you don't want them to see the top line?
No.
Okay. And again, I do actually dream of one day doing one of these because I think they are really cool.
Dork.
I know, right? So, I mean, look at this thing.
Whoa.
And these people go to the craziest extremes.
I want to do this.
Isn't this amazing?
I want to do this and then step on it.
I like his name too, Rich Packer. That's like one of our...
It's so good.
And sometimes like the relatively simpler ones are so great, just how they incorporate the bases. Because again, the models have to be able to come in and out of these things.
I see, and that's why you see that in that one.
Yeah. And then sometimes they'll incorporate lights and sounds and oh man, so cool.
That's very, very cool. I feel like Darrow would do that.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't he build terrain?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, creepy graveyard.
That's not that creepy. They could have done better.
Okay.
I stayed at a hotel last year in North Carolina, and they had the best gingerbread house, like two of the best on display. This is what it's reminiscent of.
So these are the new ones. So third place.
Whoa!
Space Wolves.
Oh my goodness!
So he built a whole building. Look at that. And then the army is down here at the bottom.
You know what?
Small
you know
army,
why he failed?
Why did he fail?
He didn't get first place. Those
Why?
stupid skulls.
That
They're
right
not
there?
in line with the whole thing. They stand out.
It was a little goofy.
A little goofball.
Yeah. Interesting.
Didn't stick the landing. That's my hot
understand.
take.
Oh Jesus! Look at his models though. Wow.
Whoa, dude. Hold on. Hold the throne. What?
God, the chip-in is
So good.
I literally have no clue how to do that.
It's actually not difficult. It's just doing it.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna do it right now.
Nice.
Very
So
cool.
that was third place.
Wow.
Second place.
The cathedral.
Ultramarines. That's a lot of dudes.
Wow, dude. I want to step on it.
Patience.
Wow, look at the bronze.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you dare
Look at
tell me that's gold. Whoa.
the cloth. Yeah, these people are they're too much.
They have heads though. You don't like that.
No, I don't. That's good stuff. Okay, first place though. Those were good, but oh gee, wow. So it's an entire.
I don't like this. Oh, it's orcs.
It's a racetrack.
Oh, well.
We'll see we'll see some closer uppers.
Ooh, now I want to make it yellow.
Damn.
Oh, yellow.
So that's
is so much
the workshop.
better. Shit.
That is very cool. Oh no.
Hi, Danny. 5 Fantasy 4K.
Thank you so much for the follow.
Nice.
We're looking at armies.
Thanks.
Armies on parade.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, look at the blue checker.
Yeah, it's really cool. Let me see it. I need to look at what they've done.
The whole thing?
No, that Boomdakka. It's cool. It's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Now I'm really, really, really unhappy.
Now you're reconsidering.
Do you have a
and then these are the fantasy.
thicker but okay brush?
Yes.
Oh, that's an interesting heart emoji. Whose hands are those? That you don't mind me
Like one of
using.
these. Oh no, those are the Twitch Unity. They're it's a I don't know, something.
Don't talk out of your ass. It smells bad.
Oh, look at that. That's cool.
Honorable mention.
Now we're into the fantasy side. So this was second place.
That is cool.
That's pretty neat. God, look at how crisp that blue is.
Micah, I betcha.
Maybe.
Who can say we will?
And then first place. Look at that. Ghosties.
This is real good. Yeah, I really think I'd like to do some terrain on another stream. Third place?
Oh, so these are other games. So this is Blood Bowl. Oh, that's really hard to see. Hold on. Oh, it lights up.
Oh, it lights up!
Oh, snap. Yep, everybody go join Wombat Nation. Second place is... Oh, damn. So yes, Games Workshop also does Lord of the Rings.
Look at that!
So that's Helm's
It's
Deep.
just a bunch of pulled cotton, but it's so
And then
smart.
the lighting inside, yeah. And then first place is more Blood Bowl. No, it's in a picnic basket. It's adorable. Look at these goofballs.
The boys under. This is squared.
Yeah. So people go all out. I mean, look at these things. Look at the craftsmanship and the ideas.
But do they
that go
make
into
any
this
money?
Stuff. No. This is just. I mean, they get a little medal. That's about it. But it's very cool stuff. So again, like I aspire that one day, number one, I'll have an actual army painted. You know.
Well, you just have a goal.
And then I can do one of these things with it.
Cool, dude.
Pandar wants you to steal a Spider-Man figure while you're here. You have to look pretty closely to find one. I'm not a fan of Spider-Man.
Get Hector Navarro on the phone.
I'm not well, hold on. Let me clarify. I'm not a fan of Peter Parker.
Okay.
There are
'Cause
other
he's a little
much
bitch?
better. Yes.
Why is he a little bitch?
I just find him very annoying.
Really?
Yeah,
Even
always
the
have.
even the Tom one? He's so cute.
He's cute.
He's so cute.
He is cute.
He's so pretty.
I acknowledge
He's so pretty.
that he does a good Spider-Man, and I don't like him because he is Spider-Man, and I'm not a fan of Spider-Man. I never have been a fan of Spider-Man in the comics. It's just not a character I enjoy. Peter Parker Spider-Man. But we're all allowed to have characters we don't like. I think I have two, in all of my toys, I think I have 2 Spider-Man figures.
See what you've done, Pandar?
I mean, look, it's... Okay, we're committing Armies on Parade Board. Let's do 2023, just to make sure there's enough time.
That's crazy.
It's not that far away.
It's crazy. Too far.
That's too far?
Yeah, the Earth is going to be boiling by that point.
Look, 2021 is in a few days.
Right, so we have a whole year.
Oh my god. But you realize I first have to paint an entire army.
But let's do that then. Then let's do that.
2022.
It will be done by.
Done in 2022.
Okay, let's conceptualize. Okay, we have to build a timeline.
Okay.
Okay, this is okay. Since I probably won't be here next Saturday because I'm going to take a week off. I don't know.
You heard it here, folks.
I just don't know.
Last show
of 2020.
Okay.
I don't know. I just was theorizing.
Yeah, we need a timeline.
Okay, let's build it. Who's gonna be our
foreman?
Yeah, our planner. We need someone who's gonna help us start the YouTube video of me stepping on.
Right. That's what we need. We need project
managers.
Management. Yes. Those are always good.
And who wants to do that? So, because right now we need a calendar created.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I brought my calendar. Why didn't I do this?
Spider Ham is great.
Okay, only because it's John Mulaney.
There's a Spider-Man that's been exiled to to the junk shelf over there.
Okay.
I think that's... Is he from the Amazing Spider-Man movies? And then there's...
Let's see. Can you pull him out?
I think there's
Go grab
one up there somewhere.
Go grab him. Benjamin should...
Wait, we're prototyping? Yeah, my son likes Spider-Man, to my chagrin. I do allow my children to have Spider-Man toys.
Allow.
I'm not that much of a monster.
Allow.
Spider-Man.
But Rabid Wombat, if you can do PowerPoint projects and deadlines, that'd be great.
He's got silver on the bottom of his feet.
I noticed. So why?
I don't know. It's dumb. Spider-Man.
So really, what's the gripe?
No, I just find him annoying.
Elaborate. Use your words.
The constant quips. Nothing is ever serious until it's like, oh my god, it's the end of the world. He's just not a character I like.
May I?
Is that okay? Yeah, please. It's a good figure. He's super articulated. Can do a lot of... There you go, just like that. Hey, PowerPoint presentations are great.
Why do I exist? Yeah, it's almost like a little gross, all the articulation points. Like, why?
Yeah.
What's happening here?
And again, his hips are awful. I don't like those kind of hip joints.
I'm gonna leave him here for it.
That's fine. You can take him with you if you want.
It's not fun if you know that I'm taking him.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry to steal your fun. I did like the Houston run of Scarlet Spider, which was essentially there have been a million clones of Spider-Man over the years.
Sure.
So one of them, his name
is the Spider-Verse.
Well, yeah, that's partly clones, partly Spider-Man from other dimensions. Yeah, these like actual clones. So the important clones were Ben Reilly, who was like just as good and noble as Spider-Man as Peter Parker.
And you hate him too.
He's pretty boring. So he was Scarlet Spider in the old days. He was the one he looked like Spider-Man, but was more red, but he had the hoodie on. It was kind of goofy.
Oh, I don't have no...
He had like a blue hoodie on.
I don't have no idea.
Yeah, it's fine. He was boring. And then the other one was Cain, like the biblical Cain, but with a K.
Okay.
So, and an E, so not that close. But, so Cain was like...
like, not at all.
Right, not at all. He was like the evil one. And then
because Cain was the one that killed the brother, right?
Yeah, and then he got some kind of like weird disease, and his skin was all purple. But then they fixed him, and then he looked just like Peter Parker, and he became a hero himself. But he was more like an anti-hero. He killed people if they had to be killed, and he was like,
because Spider-Man never did that.
Spider-Man would never do that. And so he went.
Is that why you don't like him?
No, not specifically. And so he went and lived in Houston for a while. And it was actually kind of a big deal because Marvel had never
had a hero centered in...
Yeah, almost all of Marvel's stories take place in New York. And then, some stuff in other places. There are the West Coast Avengers, stuff like that. But it was kind of a big deal. They did a lot of research in Houston, got the buildings right, got cool. The landmarks. And I enjoyed that run. It was a kind of a different look at what a Spider-Man character could be. So, but why are we talking so much about Spider-Man, of all things? Have you seen my evil trees?
You talk about them a lot. Why? What are they? Are they Ents?
They are barbed venom gorses from Death World Forests.
Reminder, if we get 13 more subscriptions, you'll give something away.
I think it's less than that. Well, we were...
Are we counting resubs?
Yeah, of course.
I don't... Not that those people don't count. It's not the same.
Yeah, so there have been 3 so far today.
Okay.
1 gift, 1 new, and 1 resub.
Excellent.
I'm allowed to know a lot about things I don't like. Don't all geeks do that?
There's an argument. Yeah, hello. You have to make arguments somehow.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Wilder, that sounds like a cool glitch. I don't play video games. I actually played Among Us last week on our Myths and Video Games.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah. How
which
was
really
that?
fun. Pandar played and Zardoz played.
What?
And some other really neat people. And John.
Zardoz doesn't.
We had a really good
Pandar
time.
doesn't play video games.
I was not good at that game, but I learned as we went. Definitely learned as we went.
Very cool.
Yeah, so this is terrain for Warhammer. It's actually official terrain, and
Frank Scott for zero reason.
Yeah, that's
how
he wasn't even. Pandar wasn't even the imposter.
Yeah,
he just was like, I saw Scott go in there.
I believe it. I love it.
I wasn't even anyone.
I love it because then it sets you up to like not know how to trust him if he ever becomes.
Sure,
it's so good, so funny.
I think I was aware not to trust him to begin with, but
he lends himself to that pretty easily.
Yeah, so this is actual terrain. And sometimes terrain have specific rules, sometimes they don't.
So that's not a creature, it's a...
Yeah, it is just terrain. You can give it rules.
Like it could be poisonous if someone's close
yeah,
to
exactly.
it or
So
something like that.
in the last edition, it did have optional rules. Let me bring it up because I only just recently opened this. But it was part of the Death World Forest line, and there were 2 or 3 other types of evil trees.
Mm-hmm.
So this one says, when a model targets an enemy infantry unit that has all of its models within 1 inch of a Death World Forest terrain piece, the target unit receives the benefit of cover, blah, 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 blah. So it provides cover around it. In addition, subtract 1 from hit rolls made for models that make close combat attacks within 3 inch. This represents limbs being entangled by sentient roots or minds being fogged by eldritch energies.
Ooh, very cool.
And then this one specifically also added, roll a d6 each time a model moves within 3 inches of any barbed venom gorse terrain piece while advancing or charging. On a roll of 1 or 2, that model's unit suffers 1 mortal wound. So it reaches out and stabs you. And I will say that this model is very spiky, and I have hurt myself several times grabbing for it. And there are 3 different versions. This one has suckers.
You would.
Do you see all the suckers?
No.
Look at my suckers.
No.
Fine. Be that way. I do like that it has kind of like an opening, so you could have a model go inside and hide.
Let me see.
You could walk in
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it could also die.
Sure. And then this one has these star-like things.
But you could see through this, right?
Use this as...
Oh! I could go into the mall like that. Like, get away from me at Christmas shopping.
Ouch. Ouch.
You did that to yourself.
It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
No.
And then this one, I'm still building. This one has fronds. So I have to add on all of these frond pieces.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I don't like this kit at all. The plastic is really weird. It's like it feels more brittle than most Games Workshop plastic. The parts don't go together seamlessly. They weren't even all on sprues. They were like in bags. It was very
weird.
Odd. Yeah.
Maybe because people don't care as much?
I don't know. Yeah, and even the friend of mine who works for Games Workshop, he said, yeah, some of those terrain kits are just weird.
Do you have friends?
I have a couple. I mean, they say they're my friends. I don't know.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is. Use real wood. Does that help?
No.
Okay.
Okay, what else is on the docket?
There's an opening in my suckers. That's true. I wanted to talk about my buddy, my pal. You know him, you love him. Fabius Bile.
Oh, that's right.
Also known as Fabulous Bill.
Oh, is that what people say?
Yeah, what do you think of this guy?
He looks like the guy from the second Ghostbusters from the painting.
Yep.
Blod.
He gets that a lot.
because he looks exactly like it. Is that purposeful? It looks exactly like it. The nose is the same.
I mean, I don't know.
It's the same thing.
So this is Fabius Bile. I've talked about Fabius a little bit before on
So tell me what.
stream. What?
Tell me what I need to know.
Tell you what you... Vigo the Carpathian.
There it is.
Thank you, Chris. Fabius Bile. That was, yes, Ghostbusters 2. Fabius
I said
Bile.
that.
Yes. I know,
I fucking said that.
We're confirming.
I said that!
Don't treat them like you treat me. They'll stop watching. Let me put him right.
I just don't want to be geek shamed, you know?
No, it wasn't.
Savage, get the frick out of here. You kill horses. Who does?
I mean, we need glue somehow.
The ways of getting glue.
Not as cost effective, though. So Fabius Bile was one of the original Emperor's children.
Okay.
And we're talking going back like 13,000 years.
Okay.
Hello. Oh, MXA. Hello.
Hi, MXA.
Your color is so dark blue, it is hard to read.
Against the dark.
Yeah.
Nixa.
In the dark.
Under the Zordon.
In the dark.
Under the Zardos. Out on the sun.
So, yeah. So, one of the original Emperor's children in the Legion, hanging out with Fulgrim. Oh, do you see he's got a head right there?
Oh, no, it's my face.
Is it?
Kind of. Look at the short hair.
And then you see his cool cloak, how it's all like stitched together.
It's
made from human skin.
Oh,
See, when you paint this, you have to paint it all fleshy.
Ew.
I mean, that's just what he does. So he was a space marine, even though he looks all gaunt and hideous, because he's got a problem.
Uh-oh. Retro.
When we go back to talk about the original Space Marines, these original Space Marine legions, a lot of them had a flaw in their gene seed.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they manifest as physical issues, mutations and things like that. Sometimes they manifest in more like mental stuff, but a lot of them had issues. Space wolves sometimes turn into werewolves. It happens.
Okay.
What are you gonna do? Anyway, he was an apothecary, like the Space Marine version of a doctor or a medic. And he became Chief Apothecary. He was so good at his job.
Oh.
And then, cool, Zardoz. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye, Zardy.
So then later on, when Fulgrim decided to go all chaos and start essentially worshipping Slaanesh, Fulgrim wasn't happy about that. Or, I'm sorry, Fabius Bile. Too many F names. Mm-hmm. Fabius Bile wasn't happy about that. So while he's just as much... He's in his own way, he's quintessentially Emperor's children.
Bando.
Thank you so much.
Oh my goodness.
For the... Oh, wow.
That's huge.
That's amazing.
That's so cool, Bando.
Thank you so much, Bando. I really appreciate that. So while the Emperor's children, remember, they're focused on experiences and excess, really the key thing is perfection. So while a lot of the other ones, like, they're looking for perfection in sword fighting or things like that, Fabius Bile really wants to perfect medicine. Mm-hmm. He knows everything there is about cloning, about genetics. He wants to fix his fellow Space Marines, make better Space Marines, all this kind of stuff. And he's very much a man of science.
Okay.
So much so that he hates the idea of the Chaos Gods.
Oh.
He denies their existence.
Well, that's not really smart.
Not really smart. Even when like he goes to a planet at one point, and it's in the Eye of Terror where the Chaos Gods reign, and the gods are literally like looking down at him, and he's like, nope, I don't see you. I don't believe you're there.
That's my philosophy with Trump. Like, don't give that guy the power he wants.
Sure. So Fabius Bile leaves the Emperor's children. He goes off on his own, which is pretty crazy. And he collects a group of people that sort of worship him or study under him and honor him.
Yeah.
They're like kind of like
acolytes.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good word for it. But what's really cool is that they are all from... You invented that word? Good job. There are a bunch of characters from other legions that follow him.
Oh.
And it's so crazy that one of his most loyal followers is one of the World Eaters. And as you all know, the World Eaters, right? The World Eaters are the ones who follow fans. Yeah, they're his only fans. World Eaters are the ones who follow Angron, and so they drill these butcher's nails into their heads that make them crazy.
So they're not like mythical. They're like actual humans that are like
yeah,
insane.
that's just what they're yeah,
or beings that are
yeah. But with Fabius's help, this guy named Arian, he just turns off the nails in his head, and like that's supposed to be impossible, but they do it. They're devices. They're called butcher's nails, and it's a device that you drill into your head that makes you're only ever happy when you're killing something. Otherwise, it's intense pain, like the worst headache pain ever, whenever you're doing anything other than violence.
Aww. Ruh-roh.
Yeah, they're pretty.
So are we counting that as 6 subscriptions?
Sure.
Okay. So how many is that?
So that's 9 total.
So we need just 6 more.
Yes.
Until you give something away.
Until we do a giveaway. So Fabius Bile has been hanging out for about 10,000 years, doing his own thing, and he's
just an old baby.
Yeah. So the thing is, though, he has this wasting disease. What?
But he's living for so long.
But not in the same body.
Oh no.
Oh.
So it is. Oh no. Does it gonna have to give one more? God's just gonna give just. Oh God.
And your prize, we'll put you in a box. Oh, what? Why are you hitting me?
I'm having a hard day. It felt good to do that.
Don't take it out on me.
I'm sorry. So it is Vigo.
Kind of. So he clones himself because he is.
Thank you so much,
anonymous for
gifter.
Those gift subs.
So we need one more.
One more? Okay. Is there one more person who's watching who is not subscribed by now? That's always the question.
Give away your spoder man.
Tell somebody to you can have him. So Fabius Bile, he's so cool that he has a bunch of epithets that people call him. One of them is the Clonelord because he's so
Clone
good.
War, you get it.
He's so good at cloning things, and yes, he clones himself, and he's perfected it so that he can download his current consciousness into a new cloned body.
Do we know if his actual consciousness goes in or a copy?
Well, it's a copy, but he updates the copy to be current.
So like he dies, and it's sad. And then
yes.
a new version of him lives on.
But the problem is his disease, his whatever the flaw is in him, it continues in his new bodies. Oh. Because as some demons have guessed, it's actually attached to his soul, not his
so
DNA.
his soul actually does carry on.
Because
if you're making a copy,
arguably.
Okay.
We've got a hype train going. Thank you everyone so much.
Oh, frick.
Yes, he does the brain backup. He downloads into a new body, but the bodies don't last very long. And again, he's a space marine, so he is. When he downloads originally, he is just as big and as fast and as tough as any other space marine, but he rapidly declines and
Poor
then has
baby.
to get into.
Do we like him?
He has aspects that are sympathetic. I think he's actually a really interesting character. If you read the novels that are specifically about him.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's just kind of like a
throwaway.
Yeah. So I just recently read the third in a trilogy that's all about Fabius Bile.
Yes. Really why are we talking about him today?
Because I have a couple of neat points that came out of this book. Also, the thing that he's wearing on his back. A lot of apothecaries and tech marines in the space marines, they have got backpacks with arms on them to help them do stuff. This one is special. This is it's a living cybernetic creature called the Trarujan.
So Arsenal gave a gift sub. So
okay.
Now you have to do a giveaway.
Okay.
We will do
bits. Oh, because bits help with the hype train.
Yeah. But now you have a gift sub.
Okay.
Because he brought it to 15.
Thank you so much
so now we
for
do a giveaway.
Now we will do a giveaway. Yes.
Who's
Is
moderated?
there anyone
in this?
here who can operate a giveaway?
Who can see? Please.
They were all fans. Please, they were all fans of Doc Hawk. Yes. We can ask that guy.
He won't.
He won't. Somebody once told me how to do it, but I don't have that at hand.
It's one way or another.
How do we do a giveaway? How do we pick a random person, rather? That's really the question.
Yeah, they gotta get hype in the chat.
Yes, be active in the chat, and somehow we pick a person. We'll figure it out. Somebody will help us.
No, they won't.
Nobody's gonna help us.
Just say
Oh,
please.
I should share. I did say
I'm
please.
just kidding.
Oh, Pandar, thank you so much.
Exactly. Somebody.
So here is what Fabius Bile looks like. I can do this. I have the power. He is definitely 100% a mad scientist.
Okay. Oh, this is him?
Yeah.
Ooh. That's
He's
pretty
in purple.
darn cool.
So he has he has 4 distinctive items. So his backpack, which again, it started out as just basically a robotic assistant for his surgeries.
Okay.
But it has become self-aware over the years. It even in the latest book, it has been reproducing. There are little baby robot scorpions running around.
What?
In his crazy ship, which is pretty rad. So that's cool. He's got the cloak made of human flesh that he likes, just for style. Why not? What a lot of people refer to as his pimp cane.
Okay.
The little cane with the skull on top of it. It has the soul of a demon inside.
Cool.
So when he hits somebody with it, it can cause untold agonies.
Oh.
And then he's got a cool alien needle pistol that he uses in. Thank you so much for the bits. So that is here. That is one picture, and then I've got one more picture because he's an interesting fellow. And again, he's he looks old. He looks kind of ugly, and that's just his jam.
Don't talk about my husband.
I really like this artwork of him. This one, he looks a little bit more Space Marine like, even though he's got a crusty little head.
Oh, that's cool. Crusty
I can make
head
that bigger
boy.
one for you to see. If it will load. There we go. Look at that.
Oh my god, he's so big in it. He's something. Look, he's a replicator, or what's the thing?
Reanimator?
Reanimator.
Yeah, I mean, literally. Oh, hype train. Share. Choo choo.
Choo choo.
Choo choo. Oh, I got a target. That's actually a cool emote. The target.
Oh, that is cool.
I like it. Thanks everyone who worked up to that hype train. Appreciate that. Crusty dome. And then what really Fabius is all about is that not only Peg Junk has won the giveaway. Woo! Sorry, I missed it the first time. That's why Pantar spammed it in chat.
He likes to do that.
Thank you so much. Congratulations,
Congrats,
Peg Junk.
Whisper to this boy
Yes, whisper.
your address.
Whisper.
And he will send you something.
So over the years, Fabius has created a lot of little mutants that run around and do his bidding for him.
Uh-huh.
He's created big war mutants to
Okay.
fight for him. He created a daughter named Melusine.
Ooh, that's a cool name.
It is a pretty cool name, yeah. I don't know where they got that. But she became a demon.
Aw.
And he was very sad about that.
I would be sad
because
too.
it was his first creation. I think he used some demon parts though.
Oh, so what do you expect?
What do you expect? But then he made his new men. He made new humans that he wants to populate the universe after the current humans go extinct, which is pretty cool.
Why would they go extinct? Is he just foreseeing
Various
that?
things, yeah.
Okay, so he just
Because
like
humans are
they're not
crappy.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. And most of them worship the corpse emperor and all this
so
other
he
stuff.
hates people.
Yeah. But yeah, he creates these new types of people, and the first ones are called gland hounds. Because he designs them so that they can fight space marines. Not one-on-one, because that would be crazy. But a few gland hounds can take down a space marine and tear out their glands for him to experiment on.
Oh, I see. So there's a benefit.
Yeah,
there.
but they breed true. So by the book that I just read, there are a whole bunch of them, and he.
What does breed true mean?
Oh, so if they breed, the resulting baby will be just like them.
So they are genetic clones of themselves when they breed.
Well, I mean, like, if they mated with a regular human, their offspring would be a new human, a new man human.
I don't understand. So if I were to have sex with an alien,
Yes.
and have a baby with that alien,
Yes.
wouldn't it be half alien, half human?
No, it would just be alien in this case.
So he's basically using the human as a host.
Kind of.
Okay.
Anyway. So he has a whole bunch of these, and at the end of the book that I just read, he saves a bunch of them so they can repopulate the galaxy later on. But critically, Fabius Bile addresses one of the biggest questions in Warhammer forever that we've talked about, and we've made mention of it. I took a picture of the text so I would remember where it was. So he's talking to Melusine, this creation of his, who has gone on to become...
Who I think I'm going to name my human in my new RPG.
You should. It's a pretty rad name.
Yeah, Melusine's cool.
So he says, "Yes, you are my daughter." The word felt strange on his tongue. Space Marines could not breed.
Oh.
Not without excessive modification or mutation. So that tells us a bunch of things all in one.
About Space Marines.
About Space Marines, and also about Fabius Bile's capabilities.
Wait,
because
so
if
we
he knows,
assume that he's made a baby? Or I thought he alchemized her.
He did, but this implies that he has altered Space Marines to be able to breed, or knows how to at least. So it's possible.
I see. So he understands what it could take.
Yes.
I see.
And then he says, "A check placed upon them by the Emperor. Another mistake."
What does that mean?
So Fabius Bile he's such a good geneticist and understander of biology. He several times talks about how, like, oh, when the Emperor made Space Marines, he purposefully did this, and I could have done it better, or he could have done this instead. And he recognizes things that the Emperor did
that was a
could
mistake.
Yeah. And again, when we talk about things like how could, in the lore, right, there's no such thing as female Space Marines. Why? Stupid lore reasons. But Games Workshop as a whole leaves themselves a few of these little loopholes
in order to
they could. I mean, I don't know if they're doing that on purpose, but they could be used for that purpose.
But also, they're not afraid of retconning. If
yeah, they do that all the time for sure.
And in order to make it a more hospitable IP for women, they should, in a sense.
They absolutely should.
Right.
Thank you, Squirrel, for donating another gift sub.
What the frick? How come we didn't hear that?
It was while you were talking.
I would have heard the...
It did make the noise.
Really?
You were talking. You were engrossed in what you were saying.
Sorry.
No, I don't think
Clearly self-absorbed.
In a good way.
That's your opinion.
So yeah, but I thought that was kind of cool that yes.
That's like a lot of information in one sentence that could go otherwise unnoticed.
Yeah, it really is. And I saw that, I was like, ooh, it's something I definitely want to talk about. So yeah, I took a picture of the text. It's also notable that in that series, so Fabius Bile, again, he's a doctor, he goes around doing all this crazy stuff, but he ends up pissing off a lot of people along the way.
I'm sure.
So he needs...
Because these people don't have a lot of, like, maturity in general.
Right. And he's constantly, like, going around trying to learn and steal things, and he's not a super good guy. he's very focused on what he wants to do.
Got it.
So he gathers some warriors and a small army to help him out. And one of them is led by a woman.
What?
Who wears...
Not in my IP.
A woman who wears Space Marine armor, Chaos Space Marine armor, and uses Chaos Space Marine weapons, and commands a whole warband of Chaos Space Marines.
But is she not
But
Chaos?
technically, she is not a Space Marine herself.
Oh, okay.
But again, at that point, what the hell is the distinction? Other than she technically doesn't have the gene seed implanted her, blah, blah,
But, oh, I see. Because if it's, because gender's a construct. is a construct.
100%, yes.
So.
But in the rules,
isn't.
The rules are DNA.
Got
That's
it.
the rule, which is stupid and whatever. And I wholly agree about it being stupid. But, and she has hooves, which is awesome. Some of the best Emperor's Children characters have hooves.
Oh, really?
Because, it's a weird, creepy body modification thing.
I see. Would you want hooves if you could?
Ooh, would I want hooves? I don't know, maybe. A lot of things you can do with hooves.
Like what? Like
Hold on, wait, I'm catching up. Yeah?
You have to pee again.
Yeah, Fadir, and again, Malkador has talked about, like, there should have been female Primarchs and all this other stuff. Several people have reached out and told me that I'm supposed to talk to you about your character name. But I saw somebody clipped it when you were talking about about my book, which was awesome.
Squirrel's like, if only there was a book you could look in. And in fact, sure. I think I'm going to gift the second one I have to Derek.
Oh, cool.
Because he says he has a famously hard time naming NPCs.
Yeah.
So his eyes really lit up.
Nice.
When I showed the book. It was very organic.
Oh, and there's the clip right there. That's awesome. Well, thank you very much.
I mean, I have you on one of my commands, so
I appreciate that.
Whatever.
Yeah, Rabid Wombat. But the lore says, but again, even the lore says that the Emperor could have done it, and several people criticize him for not doing it. And change the lore. The lore changes all the time. Yeah, I am very much a proponent of female Space Marines, both for lore purposes and for modeling purposes and for characters. I think it would be great. So, one day. And there's certainly lots of people out there who model and convert their own female Space Marines. There are third-party companies that make female heads that are sized for Space Marine bodies, and that's awesome. And again, yes, as other people have pointed out to me, if a lady was implanted with a bunch of extra organs and had massively increased muscle mass and basically a reconfigured body shape, she would look no different in heavy armor than he. And if my army doesn't have anybody without a helmet on anyway, then these are female Space Marines. Like, it's fine. It doesn't matter. I can name them all. I can give them all lady names. Do your hobby the way you want to do your hobby. Just don't be an asshole. Oh, man, there was also a thread. There was a thread in... So on Facebook, I don't really use Facebook all that much anymore. It's pretty much just for groups, just to basically see pictures of other people's cool models. So I'm in some general, like, yeah, exactly. Bobby Draper in armor. It just looks like everybody else. Although, like, you can kind of feel her charisma even in her armor because she's such a badass. Do you watch Expanse?
Oh, no, not yet.
Okay.
It will be something I watch one day, I'm sure.
Okay.
It has not happened yet, though.
So I'm in some, like generic Warhammer modeling groups and other model groups. And then I'm in groups that are... like complain about people being assholes in the other groups, essentially. Yeah. Oh, so the new Fabius Bile model, this one came out last year. It is, yeah,
that's the backpack.
Fragile. He came with a little helper, who, if you look really closely, he's yanking out organs from a dead Space Marine on the ground.
He sure is.
Which is pretty cool.
I think that's heart specific. Because, like, what else are you taking from the neck?
It's the added organs. the extra organs that Space Marines have. Yeah, so he's...
This guy's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the characters,
Yes.
which is your favorite? And if you're just joining us, I'm a guest here on Scott's stream.
You're a co-host of this show.
On this show. But make sure you follow him because he knows a bunch about a bunch of geeky things.
That is true.
And press the follow button. So what is your favorite character?
In Warhammer?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I like... Favorite.
Like, which one do you get titillated about when there's more information?
Fulgrim.
Like, what?
Fulgrim.
Okay.
The Primarch of the Emperor's Children, who has gone through a very interesting arc, both in the lore and how they've portrayed him in the lore, like sort of meta lore.
Okay. What about it? What about him do you like? I like
that. I like it's a fall from grace story.
Okay.
And the seeking for perfection, and where does that take you, and how far you can fall from that.
This is the one that we talked about last week.
Yeah, this is the one I talk about pretty much every time.
Okay, got it.
I find him a very, very interesting character.
There's a lot of Herculean things going on.
Yeah.
In terms of, so funny how, whitewashed Hercules gets in the cartoon itself, but he like had super tragedy.
Oh yeah, like horrific stuff happening to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dreadlord Herc. Is it the Angels of Purification? That sounds familiar. But yeah, a lot of people who are building and adding to basically the lore about a female Space Marines chapter, which is awesome. The squads, yeah. But yeah, I really like Fulgrim. And actually, I was going to say one of the other things about the recent Fabius Bile novel is Fulgrim actually shows up in that book twice.
Whoa.
Which is crazy because he's not a character
Did your PP get excited?
A little bit. He's not a character that shows up a lot in the modern continuity. We know he's out there. There are references to him just fucking shit up all over the place.
Does he ever die?
No.
Okay.
He's now a demon Primarch, so he's ascended.
That's a good thing. For the God Emperor, does he like that?
Oh no, he's he worships the Chaos Gods, and he's partly one of them.
Oh no!
At this point, I mean, it happens.
Do you like that?
It makes for an interesting story. Yeah.
So he's got a lot of fall from grace.
Oh yes, 100%. One day they'll give us a model of him
as the. Oh, have they ever?
There's a model of him before he turned bad. But
now we need one. Oh, but do you really want one with him like spewing out of his...
I do, and I really want one based on, I'll show you.
Someone's idea?
Some artist did the fucking coolest artwork of what Fulgrim should look like.
Unless Games Workshop pays them, they can't do it.
Well, no, but I mean, this is based on how he's described in the books. I mean, look at that. How fucking awesome is that?
Oh, he's a sneaky.
He is. Hold on, let me share the picture with the people at home.
It's so funny. Your numbers tick up every time I go away.
I'm sure that's...
correlative.
Hold on. The picture is huge. Fit to screen. That's the one I'm looking for. Oh, I love this.
Can I tell you?
Yes.
Look at those colors.
No, I know. Yes. But again, I don't want my regular Space Marines to be the exact same as my Emperor's Children. There's a reason why.
Do they look like that? Do your Space Marines look like that color?
My Emperor's Children have this. It's a bit of a darker color scheme with the black and the purple. I don't want my... Remember, I have two separate armies, and I don't want them both to have all the same colors.
Can you blow it up for me again?
I can.
Put it over here. Yeah. So you're talking about to get away from the magenta.
Yes.
Okay.
But I hear what you're saying. And yes. And see, there's itty bitty Gilliman down at the bottom left.
Okay. Oh, but that's interesting though. The white and the black, kind of like what we were talking about, and some gold. That could be cool.
But yes, he got a big old snake body. He has multiple arms, and he's just a total badass.
Poor guy.
I love it. I love it. And would you know what else?
Hi, Solid Snake.
Oh, hey, Solid Snake.
We got to get him on this stream once.
You know what else is super awesome about? So again, not to give too many spoilers about this recent Fabius Bile book, but Fulgrim shows up at the beginning, and you know what he talks about? He talks about Achilles in the goddamn Iliad.
What? It's like they're writing them for you now.
I know, right?
Why? How did they make that work?
Oh, it was just a reference to something for someone else's benefit.
Kind of like how in Space Odyssey they talk about the Beatles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was like, oh my god, how could I love this character anymore?
That is so funny. It's like so funny.
I know, right? It's so funny. Vulcan's good. Vulcan is one of the genuine good guys, and there aren't a lot, but he just wants to give hugs.
No.
Yeah.
For real?
Well, that's the meme, but it's pretty close. He's a big huggable fellow. Squirrel asks, if I could change one major thing about 40k, like a rule, what would it be? Well, I do have a pet peeve I have two pet peeves in the actual rules that are super silly and ridiculous. But there's the idea. Well, not the idea. There's a rule. So when you charge something in the game, when you want to charge and punch and slash something in melee combat, you have to be within 12 inches. You have to measure it out and say, am I 12 inches? Okay, I'm 12 inches. I can attempt a charge. And then you roll 2d6 to see what your charge distance is. And then you have to be able to, on those two dice, added together, move a certain number of inches so that you end up within 1 inch of the thing you are trying to punch. So why the fuck can't you charge something that is 13 inches away that you know you'll only be able to attack on a roll of 12, the hardest roll there is, but if it's a goddamn Hail Mary, you should be able to charge something that is 13 goddamn inches away.
I agree.
And it's just me who has this stupid thought, but it drives me crazy. When people have asked about rules, I've written that.
I think you should
It's a whole thing.
Send them an email.
Rebel that says, how do you really feel about this? That one bugs me. And then there's also a rule that says in most cases, if one of your units is in melee range of an enemy, you can't shoot at that enemy because you might hit your own people. And I think you absolutely, in the fucking Grimdark, you should be able to shoot at people fighting your own people. Yes, there should be a chance of you hitting your own people.
But you should make that into the rule set.
That should. And again, sometimes you can do that, but
like if you hit 0, or if you hit like Snake Eyes, you're going to hit them or something like that.
And yes, Nerdy Duck, there's a distinction about the within 1 inch and but at times the within 1 inch is defined as being 1 inch. So there are. But again, the point is, if you're 1 inch away, you can make an attack. So the 12 should work against a 13.
But to an ant, 1 inch is very far.
This is true. So yeah, those are the two rules that I would like to be changed.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
A nice, thoughtful question.
Yeah. What else? I also wish Games Workshop wouldn't use so much terrible Latin, but that's just a general thing. And that's something they've been doing for 40 years, so that's not going to stop.
You should email them.
I should email them, yeah.
Hey, I'll do this.
Well, they have an answer for that. They already have an answer.
Because of the
evolution. It's not Latin. It's Low Gothic. It's their own language.
Oh. How smart.
Yeah. Smart.
What's your pitch for an army?
Like a new army?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
It could be like a combination. Or it could be like something brand newsies.
Well, I mean, we just talked about lady Space Marines. That would really be...
One. Oh, that you want
we could.
lady Space Marines. Yeah. Okay.
And again, it wouldn't even necessarily have to be different from... Because again...
Worm Army? That's funny.
This could be a lady, just as easily as it could be a dude.
No, but if she's pregnant, then she's going to be really bad at making decisions. And if she's on her period, then she's even useless.
Well, sure.
In the same way. You know what I mean? Like,
well, but again...
If I was bleeding right now...
From what Fabius Bile says, like we don't even know if this man even has all of his downstairs parts.
Which is again why gender's a construct, because
right. I don't know if were you here when I was talking about this once before? So gender is a construct, right? We understand that.
I mean, I don't, but I do.
You don't understand
it's
it?
It's kind of hard for me.
Okay.
I understand that it's something we ascribed to identify genetic markers that are visible.
Well, no, that's sex. Genetics is sex.
But we
everything
base
else
gender around the sex of a creature.
Right, but everything we
ascribe to that.
Yeah.
There is brain waves. There is genetic differences in people with female genitalia and people with male genitalia.
Yes, but not to the extent of what toy should that kid have? What color should that kid have?
Got it. Yes, that's the construct.
What type of clothing should be on that body? Necessarily, like in totality.
Yes.
What kind of hair should that person have?
Where?
Like, those are that's.
Although I can't grow a beard unless I were to take supplements.
Yes.
So there is
gender versus sex.
So it's the fact that I can't grow a beard is sex oriented.
Yes, that's due to your sex, your DNA and your sex and your hormones. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's helpful.
Okay.
I understood it in theory.
Sure. Yeah. But there was a really interesting article, and I wish I could find it. I'll have to look for it one day. But the article talked about this person, I don't know who it was, so I'll just use they. They did a breakdown of, okay, how many Space Marines are there, and how many Space Marines have there been? And they did all the calculations. Okay, there have been X number of Space Marines in the lore.
Okay.
In our current society, so again, we're looking at approximations. In our current society, how many people are intersex?
Okay.
And they got that percentage of the population
based off of who's born with both genitalia.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, intersex is a huge spectrum, even in and of itself.
Oh,
because you can have male genitalia but have different chromosomes. You can have female genitalia with different chromosomes. It's a wide range of things.
Got it. I did not.
But yes, you can have a hold on, wait. I want to get the acronym right. It's AMAB, assigned male at birth body, but with female genitalia, and grow up to be completely masculine looking, traditionally masculine looking.
Got it.
So then, okay. So anyway, the idea was basically how many intersex people are there per population? Again, very roughly approximate, and then applying that number to the Space Marines. And then
based
also
on how many Space Marines.
And then also looking at how many people are basically how many trans people there are per population, right? And then applying that and saying how many actual lady Space Marines there already are, even if the lore doesn't
support the narrative of it.
Exactly. Which was, I think, really cool.
Can you remember generalities?
I mean, obviously it's small numbers, but that was the general.
That's
it was sort of
fascinating. Yeah. Well, but that does that stand to reason if they're genetically created by the God Emperor?
Well, Space Marines are just boys taken from regular human populations and then given a bunch of enhancements, extra organs, training to become Space Marines.
I see. Got it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like stormtroopers.
Yes.
Those weren't like the sons of Gilgamesh.
Right. So anyway, I thought that was neat.
That is.
And again, it's more of like
I would love
an
to
academic kind of take on it, but
someone needs to make their thesis. Is there a Warhammer college class?
Not that I know of.
There should
but
be.
There should be. There could be. There's certainly enough to talk about.
That's right. You could teach it. You are teaching
I could.
it.
There's a great photo that's become a meme among the Warhammer people. And it's I've mentioned this before, but it's clearly this picture was taken in a college lecture hall.
Okay.
And it's one of those old-timey lecture halls where you've got the rows of seats that are all built in, and there's a long curving desk that everybody shares, and this guy he's got a book, and then he has a tank that he's painting in the middle of a lecture.
Oh my goodness.
And it's so fantastic. I believe it's a Vindicator, and the caption is always, while this this heavy support slot isn't going to paint itself, something like that.
My goodness.
It's so great. But I don't know, maybe he was in a Warhammer class and that was part of his homework. But yeah.
Well, I'm just going to throw this away. Wait, no.
You can throw it away. What?
No, it's just
you could always strip the paint off and start fresh if you really needed to.
How? You have to submerge it in something?
Yeah, there are ways. There are ways. Do you really hate it?
No, it's just becomes streaky. I just didn't wait for things to dry.
So there's this guy who's done some really cool Lady Space Marine artwork.
Cool.
He kind of had to take some of it down because Games Workshop yelled at him a little bit. Well, I think he was like gonna sell a shirt or something. Oh. But yeah, I love this artwork.
Yeah, that's really
cool.
He's
done some other stuff, but yeah, the Daughters of Persephone are his creation. Yeah, the lady dwarves with beards is always cool.
So tonight,
tell us about tonight.
Is the last Homebuddies team stream of 2020.
Oh,
and it's mine.
Okay.
And I think if I have the bandwidth, I'm going to do a little bit of surprises, but probably not. Probably not. But everyone's going...
Oh my God.
No, not a big deal. So everyone's going to bring... It's a hobby night. Bring whatever you want. You can make...
Hobbies.
Exactly.
I have hobbies.
Exactly. I am personally going to be making Christmas letters.
Letters.
Like, hey, I can't afford a gift.
Oh, okay. Like,
this is how I feel about you.
Good.
So, like, I depending on if I see people in person, they'll get a physical letter. Sure. If not, they'll get an email. So I just needed to assign time to do something like that. Okay. And I thought
that's perfect.
I'm sure I'll be distracted. So I probably won't get done. But I also have asked each homebuddy to bring anecdotes of their favorite holiday episode of a TV show that they love.
Right.
So that we can, like, talk about it.
Yes.
And I also really personally want to talk about simps, virgins, and incels.
Oh,
really
okay.
badly.
Okay,
because
that's a good conversation to have.
It is a good conversation. And
timely.
Exactly. And I do want a conversation that's like me, Emma, and Janelle to talk about it.
Sure.
I have a lot of opinions. I want to learn some stuff about it. And we're going to save a lot of that. I started talking a little bit about it on my stream yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, because I think you came into this... Obviously, there's been an evolution of, especially the term simp for a long time.
Yes.
And you kind of like came in at an angle.
Yes.
I would say. So that's...
But my angle has also changed.
Ooh. Yeah. Keep talking. I'm going to grab something real quick.
Meaning, like, at first I was like, LOL, and, oh wait, what does this mean? And then hearing the different ways it's been used, I have different opinions of it in those contexts. Especially its anti-feministic quality. But then I'm especially when it's used to demean a guy for following a girl. That's my problem with simp.
Sure.
And it took me a little while to see that or recognize that. But then when you think about incels, why aren't we allowed to say incels and why aren't we allowed to say virgins? I almost argue, and we'll talk about this more tonight, as to whether it's actually going to be more harmful to vilify those words.
Well, it isn't that it's not that we can't use those words, it's we can't use them in a derogatory, we can't use them as insults, I thought was the...
Well, they're banning the words. So
completely? Or only in certain...
Someone clarify it.
Well, we'll look for tonight. Dreadlord Herc says, LA awesome, strips everything but Chaos Black Spray. So this, I don't know if you're familiar with this. This is LA's totally awesome. This is the greatest product that's ever been made.
For real?
For real. You can buy it at the dollar store. It's super cheap. This thing will take off paints. When you buy models, especially metal models and resin models, you have to wash them to make sure all the mold release is off.
Okay.
This will take off mold release better than anything else.
What?
This is fantastic.
Does it like clean grout and stuff?
Yeah, it'll do everything.
And it will kill small pets?
Everything. Highly recommend.
You won't be able to use them in chat.
Totally.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't do it on purpose.
It's only Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we might need to. They
can't be used as insults. Okay.
And what I might want to is for you to find this white.
Okay. So you plan on stripping the whole thing?
Yeah, I think we're just gonna immerse it.
Okay, we can do that.
I don't know. We'll come back.
Okay, you just let this dry and see what
I can do with it next.
Yeah. But yes, very, very good stuff. I use it a lot.
It's still been a meditative experience.
Sure.
To say the least. So, yes, I think we need to talk about it because also it took me a little while to realize this too, but assuming the majority of people that ascribe themselves as incels are men, it also puts the onus on women that aren't willing to sleep with them. Like involuntary celibate means that they would like to have sex.
Sure.
But I'm not choosing to have sex with them.
Right.
So they've found a new way to vilify women.
Oh, yeah, that's all it is.
So, like...
That's the point, yeah.
We shouldn't... I actually think the group is actually more of a hate group than it is anything.
Yes.
So we shouldn't be afraid to talk about that. To go,
right.
That's bad.
Yeah, I think it's...
But like when I hear kids on Fortnite going, "Oh, you fucking virgin," like I can see why that's not good as an insult.
So you agree with the policy?
Well, I just think there's nuance here, and I'm curious about it, and I want to understand it more.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about it with the group.
Yep.
Let it dry. You need. You're used to your paintings where you can like keep working on the same part all the time. On these, you really just gotta step back and let something dry.
Oh, I fuck up my own paintings because I paint the same part over and over again.
Okay, but I know sometimes like you can do that.
Yeah, but it's usually oil.
Fair.
There's a style.
Yes.
Wherein.
Yes.
You layer paints like that.
Okay.
Acrylic.
It's not like.
Unless you, it's not like anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to leave before your son comes home.
Okay. So this is the Gladiator, which all of you awesome people in my community helped me purchase. So I do need you guys to think about you people, all of you lovely, wonderful people, to think of names. We need to call it something. Typically, Space Marine.
I just want to see if you notice.
Typically, Space Marine vehicles are named... Oh boy, they're all kind of silly names, but it'll be like... If they're...
I think you guys need to find the actual clip in context instead of talking about the situation based on articles and speaking.
Yeah, there was an official announcement about it on
that's
on
great.
stream,
That's great.
so,
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely don't have a lot of context for what's actually happening. So.
Yeah, so it can be like named after like the glorious something or somebody's honor, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. So think of names and we'll vote on it on a future stream. And I actually did look up to see if it can be magnetized or if the parts can be replaced. So, because remember there's the Greeper, the
Ralliant.
the different
Gravaliant.
And it seems like there is a way to magnetize it relatively easily, so you can swap out the parts.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm not at that stage yet anyway, but I will look that up before we get there. And if it's not easy, then you'll help me pick the way, and we'll build it that way.
This is
Tank
the
and
way.
McTank face, exactly.
So is The Mandalorian done now? Is that the last episode of all time? We're not going to say anything about it.
We're not going to say anything about it. I don't know. I don't know. I have my thoughts. I have my opinions.
That it should probably be the last one.
Well, no, I have my thoughts about the show. I did watch it late last night. It happened. It's a thing. We can talk about it privately. I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Yes, we're not talking about it. I haven't watched the show.
Okay.
I just know what happened.
You might be better off. I don't know.
I think I might watch it one day.
Okay. Pandar, I have fallen asleep during most of the Mandalorian episodes. I will say that.
Who can say the road goes? Yeah, we need to just strip this baby boy.
Strip it good. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out today. Thank you so much for the subscribers, for the resubscribers, for the gifts of subscriptions. I love you all. You are all my best friends. And don't eat your models. Step on your models. Let me see real quick who is on to raid. There is another season coming. Based on the ending, who knows what the next season is going to
So one fun
be.
way, it's one cool thing to do is see who's streaming Warhammer and send it to them.
Okay. Or not just my friends.
If you have friends, sure.
If I have friends.
That are on.
Okay. Fair
But
enough.
another way to do it is...
Sure. So I don't need to watch myself. What are you doing? But then I have to get to it, and it takes forever to get to it. It's so slow. Excuse me. Do I want live channels or categories?
Yeah.
There we go. That way. We're working on it. It's... Look, it's us. But I don't know these people.
Exactly. Exactly. And then they're like, cool. No, go there.
No, why?
Okay.
These people look interesting.
Okay, go for it. Do it.
How do I do?
What's their name?
Red Katana.
So, / oops.
Red _ Hold on. Is it? Wait. Oh, goddamn. Yes. It says live.
Yep. Okay, everyone.
We're going to raid a channel that we don't know anything about them.
But they do Warhammer and tell them how great we are. And,
Yes.
and give them some support.
And we'll see you. So remember, tonight, 7 p.m. Pacific on the Jessica Nerdy channel for more hobbies.
Smells.
More hobbies. And thanks. Bye.
Go to their channel now.
I'm going to.
That looks good.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. Oh, I could have rated Darrow. He was like...
That's okay.
I'll blame you.
Well, this is great.
Come on. Oh, it's so slow. Okay, wait. And I end this, right? I'm going to leave this on.